Van Pelt hands off to Leo Lewis. Lewis across the 50s, down to the 46-yard line, finally pulled over by a mass of Tiger Cats, and there goes the gun to sound the end of the third quarter. This is your coast-to-coast Grey Cup football telecast. By play of the fourth quarter of this, possibly one of the greatest of the Grey Cup games, Steve Douglas.
Okay, Bob. Ball is on the Ticats' 46-yard line. 28-27 for Hamilton. Winnipeg Blue Bombers on the attack. Jimmy Van Pelt is the quarterback. And it is second down and 3 yards to go. Lewis comes wide on this side as a flanker, 10 yards from the sidelines. Ball carrier's John Barone, who crashes through right up the middle. Gets down to the 37-yard line for a Bomber first down. And Harry Lampman is the number one man on the tackle for Hamilton. Weather conditions out here, after a brief sprinkle of rain about an hour before game time, have been just about ideal. The condition of the turf would best be called spongy, but insofar as the spectators are concerned, they're having a real field day today. First and 10 for the Bombers. Van Pelt looking, hitting Lewis, and Lewis is hit almost immediately by Eddie Macon, right down on the 30-yard line. So the pickup on the play is 7 yards. One of the Blue Bombers is shaken up on the play. It is Ed Kotowich, racked up just briefly, getting some attention from the Winnipeg Trainers Department out on the field. Incidentally, with the ball game at 28-27 here in the early minutes of the fourth quarter, there is always the possibility that comes into somebody's mind, what happens if there's a tie at the end of regulation play? Well, should that happen, the teams will not leave the field. They will play 2 10-minute quarters or periods, if you prefer to call them that. And then if no decision has been reached at the end of these 2 periods, at which time they'll change ends, they'll go off the field for a rest and try it again. Piper has replaced Kotowich in the Blue Bomber lineup. Ball carrier is Barone again. And there is a marker down on the field for an offside call against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Vinnie Scott led the defensive thrust. Old Golden Dome, number 53, had John Barrow right alongside him, and also a fellow who's doing a fine job backing up the line for Hamilton today in the person of Harry Lampman. The offside penalty against the Ticats gives Winnipeg first and 10 on Hamilton's 25-yard line. Van Pelt rolling towards the far sideline, shoots an end run, almost intercepted, but completed. To Kenny Plain, who may or may not be over in that far corner. No signal from the officials. He stopped about a yard from the goal line. It was Milt Campbell who brought down Kenny Plain as the Bombers come roaring back. They're a point behind right now. About 13 and a half minutes to the end of the game. First and goal to go a yard out. Kenny Plain asked for the crowd to hush things down a little bit. Shepard was the man in motion. Touchdown, Winnipeg! Quarterback Jimmy Van Pelt goes over on a sneak. 1 yard for the Winnipeg TD. It puts the Bombers in front now by 33-28. And Mr. Van Pelt, who has been doing a pretty fair country job of running this Bomber offense this afternoon, will be the man who tries to add another point. And Kenny Plain will hold it for him. He'll place it down about the 17-yard line. And it's good. Yards in 8 plays. The Bombers traveled on that one. This Grey Cup telecast is coming to you from Empire Stadium in the 1958 Grey Cup game. Sent to you from coast to coast along the CBC Television Sports Network. And just before this kickoff comes up, we remind you that the Shrine East-West All-Star game will be covered next Saturday afternoon from Civic Stadium in Hamilton. You football fans anywhere in that immediate vicinity, get out and see the ball game and give those very deserving youngsters the financial support that they really need. Howell and Macon are set to receive. Van Pelt kicks, low dribbler, picked up by, well, Tommy Grant decides finally to pick it up in the 25-yard line. Ernie Pitts puts a big grab on him right away. Checking back on Van Pelt's performance this afternoon, we total 22 points for him on 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and 4 conversions. 22 points for Winnipeg quarterback Jimmy Van Pelt. That was a 2-yard kickoff return by Tommy Grant from the 25 to the 27 on the 40-yard kickoff by that same Mr. Van Pelt. Ticats trailing by 28 to 34. Filoni at quarterback. Milt Campbell trying the right side of the line, gets just about nowhere. He is hit first by Roger Savoy, number 62. Let there be no mistake about it. There is an awful lot of hard, rough, rock'em, sock'em football going out on this Empire Stadium field this afternoon. Herb Gray is the boy temporarily incapacitated insofar as the Bombers are concerned. Had the wind knocked out of him, and they are giving him the old pump motion to get him back into action. He's been the usual tower of strength insofar as Winnipeg is concerned this afternoon. Crowd giving him a great hand as he gets up. There he goes off the field under his own steam. Not quite so much as he had before, but enough. Ron Meadmore goes in to play a defensive end spot for the Bombers. So does Dave Burkholder. He'll take up an inside linebacking position. It is Hamilton ball on their own 27-yard line. Second down, 10 to go. Howell is the single flanker. He is wide toward the far sidelines. Filoni bootlegging, tripped up one of his own men, and very wisely decided to hang onto the ball as Steve Patrick put a covering tackle on him along with Cease Looning. So the Hamilton club is forced to punt the football, and it will be the customary pair, Gordy Rowland and Ron Latourelle, who are back for Winnipeg to receive. Cam Fraser, who usually does all the Ticat booting, is in this time. Bernie Filoni hoisted one for them in the third quarter. Winnipeg receivers are at the 42 and 45-yard line. Fraser standing on his own 10. He gets the ball away very rapidly, and a nice one. Taken by Rowland at the 44. 2 tacklers sliding by him. Ralph Toohey and Chet Mixa, and he is down on the 50-yard line by Zeno Karts. And the kick by Fraser was good for 44 yards from the line of scrimmage. Speaking of the tremendous weather here this afternoon, that temperature pre-game of 47 degrees is the highest reading that a Grey Cup game has been played under since way back in 1941. And if you'd like a coincidence, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers won a Grey Cup in that year. John Barone carries, tries the left side, trying to cut back in, and 3 or 4 Ticat tacklers are there for him, led by Tony Cusillo and Milt Campbell. That's Cusillo, number 99, who calls defensive signals for the Hamilton club.